evening, everyone. Welcome to my training presentation. For today's lesson, I'll be walking you through how to do customer searches in PFW in the customer tab. So for those of you familiar with PFW, we'll be using the how-to reference manual. And those of you that don't have access to the manual, I've posted a link to the section of the manual we'll be using today, which is titled How to Navigate the Customer Care tab, and we'll be focusing on the Customer Profile section. That link is attached to the discussion form in our HRD class. It's under the discussion form for this week titled HRD Presentation Plan 1, and then you just go to find the discussion I added, which is just presentation plan under my name, Alicia Ward, and the link's right there to the manual so you can follow along. And I really suggest you follow along because this class is normally presented in a live instruction, like with a small group of people that are face-to-face. And so it's good for you to follow the reference manual so you can see what the learners in a live class would do, because they would be following along and watching the demonstrations and all of that at the same time. So it really helps correlate all of the learning factors together. So we're going to get started. So the first thing when you're searching in the customer profile, you have to be on the main customer profile page, which will look kind of similar to this. There are several ways you can search, and we're just going to talk about the basic ways you can search just to make your time a little more efficient. Searching is really important because if a customer comes in, you want to be able to find their account fast, to be able to build their invoices, quote them parts, all kinds of those things. And so it's important to understand the basic searching so you can be a lot faster when closing out invoices and whatnot. So the first way to search for a customer is using the Select Search 1 or 2 box, which is right here at number 4. And as you can see in this example, we use Ward as the name, and typing a name in the Select Search 1 or 2 box will bring up all accounts where the name includes Ward or the account number starts with the letters W-A-R-D. And so if you know their last name or you know that's part of their name, you can type that in that section and it'll bring up a whole list for you to look at. Another way for you to search is by using the Select Name box right here at number 1. In this example, we typed John. So in the Select Name box, you just can type the first name of the customer. So you know their first name, you don't know their last name. You can go ahead and type that in here at number 1. And as you can see in this example, we typed John, and typing that brought up all of the customer accounts where John was part of the account name. So even if his name was Bob John Hope, then it would bring up his account. If his name was Lewis John, it would bring up his account, or if it was John Lewis, it would bring up his account. So that's a good way if you know part of their name but aren't quite sure all of it. And then the other way to do it is you can also search by business account name. And so if you have a customer who you know normally, they obviously have a real name like John Schmidt, but they prefer their account to be under their business name. So in this example, we used Triple B Farms, and typing that in here brought up the results that match the spelling and format. So like the spaces and everything matter when you're searching that kind of search. And the last search tool that I want to show you is the wildcard search that PFW gives you. So I don't know if you can see in this, but there's some percent signs in there. And what that means is there's a wildcard there. And so when you know a customer's name, but you're not sure how they spell it, you can omit certain parts of their name you're not sure how to spell, and instead put a percent sign there. And doing that will bring up searches that relate to that and still pull all the different spellings. So for example, if you know their name is John Peterson, you're not sure how to spell Peterson, whether with an S-O-N or an S-E-N at the end, then you can just type Peterson, and instead of putting an O or an E, you put a percent sign in between the S and the N. And that will bring up all the different options for Peterson accounts. And then you can pick, John Peterson or Dave Peterson. That'll help you decide. And so percent sign is really cool. That actually works all across PFW, so it's good to know. Once you have chosen an account for a customer, right here you see their customer number, which in the manual references to number 1. To go to that customer's profile, you click on that blue customer number, and that will take you straight to the customer's profile. And generally, customer profiles will be in this kind of format. Again, it's not even for all of them, because some of them will have less tabs here or different information showing here, but the layout is kind of the same, and so you can use that to search and access all the customer information in the database for the company. And learning how to look at all these tabs and understand all the information is going to be in tomorrow's lesson, so we won't go over that. But at this point in the lesson, if you'll notice in my lesson plan, I have structured my lessons as I do, we do, you do format. And so we just did the I do, which is what the instructor does. And the next part of the lesson would be we do. And since I don't have, a student besides you guys, and you don't have access to the same programming that these students would have access to, we're not going to go over that. But the we do section is the student performing the task with guidance. And then the next section is you do, which is just the student, and you let them show you what they've learned, and they're allowed to kind of explore it and retrace their steps if they've made a mistake. And they still can ask questions, but it's just a way to give them more freedom, to show them that they've really learned something. So I'm not going to be demonstrating the we do or you do portions of this video, but that's what would generally happen next. And then after we do that, we just move on to the next topic. So that's my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd really appreciate any feedback you have. Thanks for watching.